You know what? I'm kind of excited about today for some reason.
Me too. Today is also Three Kings Day, and for many of you, eating rosca de reyes or king's bread is a big tradition, so we wanted to get more into this special day.
Yeah, so how about we learn how to make one, Roma? David Caceres, he's owner of La Panaderia, is here to help us out.
David, it's so nice to have you
Good
here.
morning.
I'm getting the gloves on because we're going to get into this. I've never done this in my life. I've always had it in my household for today, but then actually making it is very different.
Well, we're gonna try to work out this.
It's so beautiful. I love it.
It seems like, I mean, there's a little bit to it, you know? I don't think I could just come up here and walk and do it, I don't think.
Well, it's very complex, and we start like 3 days ago, mixing the doughs and preparing the starter and retarding the dough. So right now it's already proof.
Okay.
So we're gonna start making the decoration, which is the fun part.
Great.
So then I'm gonna start with the egg wash here.
Okay.
I'm gonna start putting the egg wash real quickly.
Is there, you have to do it a certain way, or just kind of however, brush it in any
Just
direction?
however, you know, you have to do it just like as even as possible.
You just want to cover it pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You want to go into the insides and outsides pretty well. Just make it very nice.
All right.
And then now we're gonna go a little bit with Paul, and we're gonna work like the concha cookie.
Okay.
So for the concha cookie, you take a little bit of the concha and you start working it like this.
What is that made of?
This is like a cookie. This is like powdered sugar, butter, and flour.
So it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All the good stuff. So it's like a bigger concha with extra special fillings.
Yeah, exactly. So we start putting like this.
Is that? No, I can see by your face. It's not exactly the way.
Paul, maybe flatten it a little, like a tortilla, you know?
Like a tortilla, yeah.
We gotta teach him everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
How about that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
You know? That's perfect.
See,
Yeah,
I learned quickly.
go.
I may not know, but I learned
Oh, we
quickly.
need another one though, Paul.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
we're
put
gonna
another
keep
one.
working. And
Okay,
now
so I'll
we're
keep
gonna
going.
work with the candy.
Okay.
So this is very interesting. This is the part that I like the most because the candy, it represents the jewels, you know, the ones that the wise men were bringing to the baby Jesus.
Okay.
So they were carrying them. So that's one we're gonna start
So
putting.
tell me what
ones.
they represent again. So this is the dried candied guayaba.
Yeah, this is the ate, which I never found the translations for that. It's the guava candy, and this is the cherry, and this is the fig. But it represents, you know, the wise men, they were carrying like gifts, and they were carrying jewels in order to give them to baby Jesus once they found it.
Okay.
So that's why we put this one. So we try to put this one
Anywhere?
in between. And, well, not anywhere, but
Where
yes.
should I put it?
Yes. There is not a specific rule about
You know
like
what,
where.
David? To be honest, it seems like hers is a little bit simpler
Now I'm gonna do this.
than what I'm doing here, just a little bit.
Oh, Paul, I want to see you get more creative because I believe in you.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't want to stray too far away from this, though.
I know. I'm keeping an eye there on what he did over there.
Now, for those that don't know, what is Dia de Reyes?
Well, it's the it's the Epiphany Day, and what we're trying to celebrate is when the wise men, the three kings, they were looking for baby Jesus, you know, and they were carrying these gifts, and it's the last day of the holiday that we are for the Hispanic culture that we celebrate, and it's a very strong tradition in Hispanic culture. This is the one that Dia de los Muertos is strong, but this one is the biggest one.
Okay.
This is definitely the one that people want to gather with the families, and they want to share this.
Yeah.
And it's a very important tradition.
Yeah,
have to agree.
I was telling you before that in Louisiana they have kind of a similar thing,
Yeah.
but this is a little different.
Well, I don't know if it is a little bit different. Honestly, I'm not an expert on the Louisiana one. I guess you have more experience because you were there.
Yeah.
But what can I tell you is that there is similar traditions around the world.
Absolutely.
And they all look a little bit similar with, you know, certain has specific things about their culture, but they all look kind of similar. And I think that obviously the one from Louisiana, and it's very similar too.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's
It
kinda
is
very interesting.
You know what, Paul? But the biggest thing for me as a child that I loved, and maybe many of your families do as well, is the baby Jesus that is somewhere in here, right? And tell me the significance of that.
Yeah, that is very important. First of all, so we have to take in consideration that this is circular, and it is that way because it represents the life, the cycle of life. The beginning and the end is the same.
Yeah.
The infinite that you were talking about.
Infinity.
Infinity that we were talking at the beginning. So that's why it's circular. And then we put the baby Jesus. We brought some here. We put the baby Jesus inside the dough because the wise man needs to find baby Jesus.
Right.
But if we get very religious in a kind of way, we realize that baby Jesus is inside you. That Jesus is inside.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful way of
Tradition.
thinking.
And then the best part, y'all, if you get the baby Jesus, David, tell them what they have to do.
Okay, so 5 de febrero, we have Dia de la Candelaria, so you have to bring tamales and throw a party if you get the baby Jesus. Yes.
You heard it first, y'all. If you get the baby Jesus, we're coming over for your party. Paul,
Yes.
you're doing a great job.
Well, you know, I'm just looking at the other my
Okay,
example over here.
you both did a great job. So you can come and work at La Panaderia anytime you want.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to come by. David, how can people come out and visit y'all? You guys have several locations in San Antonio.
Yeah, we have 3 locations. The one on Broadway, the traditional one, downtown, and La Cantera. I guess we have we can find the locations in the screen. And then you can find us on Instagram, La Panaderia, Facebook, La Panaderia.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing such a beautiful part of our culture with everyone in San Antonio.